sacrifices, play this game. I done prayed that my life would never be the same. I done prayed that I will make it bring glory to my name.
So, Mark, unfortunately, no. No
I
Mitch
figured.
today. Told me to let you down very gently. But yeah, I
It's
don't
all right.
know what he has going on. But man, have you been watching these NBA playoff games, man?
I watched the Grizzlies and Wolves. Was it yesterday? And then I turned off the Nets and Boston game because they were up by 15. I was like, oh well, this game's over.
Bro.
Well, then I saw they came back, and so I put it on for like the last 7 minutes, and that was quite the game.
Yeah, it was fantastic. What'd you see about the I didn't get the because I worked all day yesterday. What'd you see about the Memphis and Timberwolves game? Like I was shocked.
Bro, these Timberwolves, the Grizz couldn't stop them. Anthony Edwards was going off,
I
and they
saw.
just they couldn't stop him and Cat, bro. They just couldn't stop him.
And then
Like,
D'Lo, didn't he have a pretty good game?
yeah, yeah,
Man,
they just couldn't
hey,
stop him. I mean, they put 130 points on him. I mean, and it was like Jaw. I mean, he was okay. I mean, but he wasn't Jaw. You know what I mean?
right, yeah.
And but they just could not stop them. I mean, and whenever the Grizz would get a momentum push, they get 2 buckets in a row or whatever and tie it up or whatever, the Wolves would score. They would just kill it right there every time. So, I mean, I gotta give the Timberwolves credit, man. They did what they needed to do, and
You think they got a good shot of winning the series, or do you think it's gonna be just like that
man,
at
I don't
one
know.
game?
After what I saw yesterday, if they come
Was
out and do it,
was Memphis just having an off game, or were they still playing well but just couldn't
nah,
stop? Really?
they were playing well. They just couldn't stop them. That's what I'm
Ooh,
saying. Like, they were in the game the whole game. I
right.
mean, but every time they get a little, momentum, Cat or Anthony Edwards would take it away. I mean, every time. You thought, like, every time watching the game, you thought, like, okay, this is where the Grizzlies are about to go on a run and
Right.
just, like, put this game away. And every time, Timberwolves made a bucket, made a three. Every time.
Dang.
Every time.
I
Like,
hope
you could
it's
feel it. You know what I'm
uh-huh.
saying? You would feel like they were about to make that run every time. The Wolves, man, they just, like I said, credit to them, they just answered every time that type of situation came up.
I hope they make a run because I mean I just want a good series, man. I don't have a team, so when it comes to playoff
Right,
time, I just want good games. That's really all I care about.
right. Well, I think the best is going to be that Boston Brooklyn series after what happened today. I think that's at the same time, man. That's a that's a heartbreaker. Come all the way back like they did and lose like that. That's just. I
Yeah.
know it's only one game. It's game one, but still, that's just tough.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. And then who's playing right now? Oh, Bucks.
Bucks and Bulls, I
Hmm.
think.
I'm tired. Yeah, Bucks and Bulls. I mean, it's a fairly I don't know what the score is now, 49-56. So I mean, still single digits. Bulls were down. It started to look bad because they weren't really hitting anything. But
Right,
then Bulls cut it down to like 5. So now it's, back to a pretty decent game.
right.
And then uh who plays tonight? I don't have my phone on me.
Let me look.
Uh, because it's oh, Pelicans and Suns start at 8.
Yep. Oh well, that's just come
Rather,
on.
that's probably the one series where it's like, all right, all these are probably I
Yeah,
feel like all these might be pretty good except for this. But then again, no, I get too optimistic because I'm a big CJ McCollum fan.
right. He's
And
a
I'm
good
a Brandon
player.
and I'm a Brandon Ingram fan. So like in my head, I'm like, oh, maybe they could get 2 games in out of 7 or 2 games out of 6, but
If they do, bro, that's like winning the championship for them. Like seriously,
Yeah.
that's like winning the whole thing. If they steal 2 games in that series,
They were just in the play because weren't they the
I think they
ninth
get
seed?
lucky if they win 1, man.
Yeah, because they were the ninth seed, right? And they squeaked in
Mm-hmm.
because of the play, and they got the eighth. Could you
Right.
imagine if they beat the Suns in the first round? I don't think it would happen.
I
I don't think
mean,
it's gonna happen, but it's not a
everybody would be mad, but in the grand scheme of things, that's what the NBA needs. It
yeah.
needs
It
that
would make it.
parity. It would
It'd
make it
make it
so much
so
better.
it'd make it so interesting for sure.
Everybody would be pissed, like like oh, I don't want to see these bums, but you know what I'm saying. But but the parity, it would make the league better as a whole if that did happen.
Because then you're like, well, because if they beat the Suns, they beat the best team in the NBA right now. Then in the back of your head, you're like, oh, they could beat the Suns. They could beat anybody.
Right.
So the back of your head, it's like, oh, they might make it to the finals.
Right.
In the back, and then the Pelicans in the finals as the ninth seed, or was the ninth seed before the play, and it's like you said, it's gonna make everything so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But it's far fetched. But
but then, I guess anything's possible, man.
Yeah. I feel like the NBA, well, not really, but it kind of gets, I feel like every year has a closer feel to March Madness.
Yeah.
Because like last year, the Hawks made it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about Cinderella team or Cinderella story.
Right.
So every year, I feel like there's always some type of March Madness kind of feel to it, whether it's a team that a low seed makes it far. Because even that year with Miami, was that 2 years ago?
The bubble, yeah, they had no business, right?
None whatsoever. Yeah. But
making the finals,
man,
right?
Was that exciting or what for the East?
Right.
I hope Miami makes it out of the East because I love Miami. I'm a huge.
Did they win yesterday?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They won easily.
They spanked whoever they played. That's right.
Yeah.
I turned that on for like a half a second, and I was like, okay, they're winning by 20. I'm not watching this.
The Hawks.
The Hawks. Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah. That's why I turned it on. I was like, ooh,
it might be interesting because Hawks are playing fantastic in the play-in.
Yeah, and they're down by 20. I was like, okay.
Yeah, that Miami Heat defense is a different kind of defense, for sure. So, it's Easter. Happy Easter, Mark.
Happy Easter.
What do you do? What you got planned for either what you do today or if you got anything after the cast? What's the plans for today, man?
Well, just hung out with the nieces. They did she did her little Easter egg hunt today, so that was cool. And then had Easter dinner with my future in-laws. So that's pretty much it.
Just chill, pretty chill.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I know. Did you get anything?
No, I had a podcast with my buddy Jerry earlier today. That's gonna drop tomorrow. So this is gonna drop Monday. So today's Monday for people listening or watching. So tomorrow, Tuesday, I'm gonna be dropping that one. It's an in-person one. So it's cool. We just did that. And then we kind of hung out for a little bit after just talking about shit. And then
right.
And then I've just been cleaning all day, like deep clean. Like I mopped, I've been sweeping, like laundry, just because I usually work Saturdays at Shoe Palace. So this is the first Sunday I've had off in a while.
Right.
So I've just been deep cleaning, dusting, counters, mopping, stuff I don't usually do every single time I clean. And then after this cast, I'm going to I'm just go to Texas Roadhouse and kind of treat myself to an Easter dinner.
Okay.
Steak and some, them rolls.
Yeah, them rolls are busting.
Hey. Steak, some rolls, baked potato. Just kind of treat myself before.
Okay, you can eat a 4-course. I feel that.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna treat myself. Love out. I'm surprised they're open. They got their regular hours. So, have you had Whataburger?
I had it a long time ago. But I know they're building several of them in the Nashville area right now.
Yeah. So since I moved out here, Whataburger, it's fantastic. I can't get enough of it. And so they have this honey butter chicken biscuit.
Oh man.
Well, that's all I hear about out here, right? I haven't gone because they only serve it from 11 p.m. to 11 a.m. because it's a 24-hour restaurant.
Right.
And so I've never been to a Whataburger after 11 or before 11. If I go, it's usually like 3 or 4. It's it's not that late. And so I had to go to Walmart this morning to get some stuff that I wasn't able to get when I got my groceries Friday because they were out of stock. So I went to Walmart at like 10 in the morning. And when I was leaving, I was like, you know what? Because Whataburger's literally, there's Walmart and Whataburger's right in front of Walmart.
Right.
Because it's like right off the interstate. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to Whataburger and finally get this butter chicken biscuit. So I go there, I get it, I get home, and I get it. It's fantastic. Oh, it's so good. But the honey butter chicken biscuit from Wendy's is better.
You know what? I was gonna say it because I've had theirs. That's good. I've had their
Wendy's is better. In my
really,
yes, it's the
Wendy's. Best. Hey, Wendy's got underrated breakfast in general, bro. It's slept on.
Goodness.
There's never anybody in line for their breakfast.
Never,
never, ever, bro. And like I'll look at like in Spring Hill, you have like Hardee's, you got the Chick-fil-A and all that.
Yeah.
And it'll be like slammed. And the McDonald's right across the street will be slammed.
Yeah.
And nobody's at Wendy's. I'm like, well, screw it. I'm just gonna whip it in right here, man. It is underrated. It is good. Yeah. They have good
it's like that
sandwiches,
here.
Bro.
It's like they hear the Whataburger, the line's crazy. The line's crazy everywhere. But that Wendy's, you'll go. I look across the street, I'm like, oh, ain't no line.
Ain't nobody. Yeah.
They last. Pull in, get that honey butter chicken biscuit. The difference is though, I was explaining it to
they got a new one that's pretty good called the hot honey chicken biscuit.
Oh, I can't do spicy though.
It's not super spicy though. It's not like overly spicy.
You say that because you kind of dabble in spice. I have no resistance to spicy food.
Okay.
If it's not spicy to you, it's still probably gonna. Now I'll eat it for sure. Just
it's so good, bro.
Out, but I'm gonna be.
It's so good.
Really,
it's so good.
But what I will say though, I think the butter sauce, the honey butter sauce at Whataburger is better because it's thicker. I like it thick. Wendy's is kind of thin.
Yeah,
they drench it, but it's kind of thin.
Right.
The chicken's better at Wendy's because it's that thick white meat. It's the Whataburger chicken's good, but the chicken they use for the biscuits not the same chicken they have for their like chicken strips or whatever. So it's a different cut.
Gotcha.
So the chicken at Wendy's is thicker and it's got that white meat and the breading's better. And the biscuit itself, the biscuit bun or whatever, it's softer at Wendy's. Wendy's is moist and Whataburger is it's not dry, but it's almost like a KFC biscuit. KFC biscuit, the top, it's kind of like a dry crispy, but it is soft still. But Wendy's, the biscuit, it's better.
It's so underrated. It's just slept on.
It's fantastic. Like, because I saw the commercials when they had the commercials for it. I was like, you know how people are with Wendy's. You're like, Wendy's breakfast.
Right.
There was one morning on my way to work, because that's when I started, because on my way to work, I just stopped by Wendy's to get breakfast. And I was like, you know what? I'll try it. Just man.
Yeah, dude.
Fantastic.
I get the usually they have like it's a maple bacon croissant. That thing is so good.
Yeah. Oh, that croissant's fantastic.
Oh, it's so good.
I like that. Yeah. I had one time they ran out of biscuits, and he was like, because I was trying to get the honey butter chicken biscuit, and he said, "Oh, we're out of biscuits." I was like, "Oh, dang." He's like, "If you want, we can use a croissant instead of biscuit."
Say less.
Say less, bro. It's better than the regular. I was like, "Oh, this is great. This is a menu item." He's like, "Do you want a biscuit or a croissant?" But yeah, man, that stuff's good. We need a sponsorship, Wendy's. Come at us.
For sure. No free shout outs over here.
All right. Are we doing the list thing? I'm still game if you're trying to still go.
Yeah, I can still do it. I made it. I knew he wasn't going to come on. So it's like, man, I'm offended. I worked so hard on my list, put thought into it just for you not to, shit on it. You suck, bro.
I'm dead, Mitch then ruined Mark's. He's ready for all the smoke, huh?
No, I was waiting for him. I was like, I had all the comebacks ready.
We'll do next week. We'll do a recap of this one, and then all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we're doing is we're adding a segment where we have we're gonna make a list, and it's gonna be the top 5 of something, right?
Right.
So
Mhm. It could be anything.
yeah, it could be anything. And so explain what's the setup, because I forget what we said the setup's gonna be. Because
Okay.
Mark's running this segment. This is Mark's segment.
All right. So basically, I just came up with this like last week. We were all Mitch, Finis, I sent a text saying, "Hey, wouldn't it be cool if we just start doing random lists, like just about anything? It could be about movies, food, television, whatever you want to make it, And we're going to alternate every week, and so it'll be something different every week. Now, obviously, there'll be weeks where, like prime example, I'm doing movies this week, but there will be a week where Finis can do movies, or Mitchell can do movies. So basically, it's a top 5 list of our favorite things. So how we see it. It doesn't mean it's the best thing ever made, the greatest whatever made. It's just our personal favorites. So anybody that's listening, don't get too mad.
Chill out.
Yeah. It's our personal favorite things. And everybody, this is all opinion based, and everybody can disagree. And it's just going to be a fun new segment we have in the show. So,
All right. I'm excited because I love doing lists, and I love doing lists and then trying to defend your list, because somebody be
right.
let's say we're doing favorite restaurant. Somebody says, I don't know, Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box.
Right.
Jack in the Box. Then you gotta defend why Jack in the Box. Oh, you don't like Jack in the Box? I love that. I love this.
Sure, right, bro.
You got yours? What's today's?
I am doing my top 5 favorite movies of all time.
Okay.
Now remember, everybody, this is all opinions. This is my personal favorites. Y'all can have your own list. If you want to comment your own list on the YouTube channel, go ahead, and we can discuss on the show. But all right, we'll get it started here. Number 5, top 5 favorite movie, Halloween 1978. My favorite horror movie of all time. I love that movie to death. And I'm the biggest Michael Myers nerd ever. My favorite slasher. Dude, he's up there with Batman for me. I mean, you know how much I love Batman.
Yeah, yes. I know. That's why.
Yes,
I didn't. So I did not know that. I didn't know you were a big Michael Myers guy.
Huge Michael Myers guy. Number 4, Interstellar, which was tough for me because I love Inception. Inception or Interstellar was going to be number 4, but Interstellar I enjoyed more than Inception, but barely. So you really could think Inception is probably number 6 on my list if I was doing a top 10. But
first movie
I'm going Interstellar because Matthew McConaughey is my boy. Not that Leo's not, but I'm more of a fan of Matthew McConaughey than I am Leo. Number 3, what got me into cinema as a young little boy, Jaws.
Really?
I love that movie. I think it's a perfect movie. Most kids at 3 years old are watching cartoons or Sesame Street. No, I was watching Jaws. So that probably explains a lot about me. Anyways, number 2, I think this is the greatest movie ever made, The Godfather.
The Godfather? I thought you were going to say Avatar.
No, The Godfather. I think it's the best movie ever made.
I've seen The Godfather.
Al Pacino. It's a young Al Pacino. It's got several people in there. I can't even think of all of them, but they're all fantastic in that movie. And then number 1, and this is not hard, The Dark Knight. So
okay, yeah,
that doesn't need any explanation.
I was about to say, if there wasn't a Batman movie in your top 5, I was
yeah. No, The Dark Knight's definitely number 1 all-time favorite movie.
Okay. I'm not, but so I haven't seen The Godfather.
Oh man.
I do like Interstellar and Inception. I love Inception. And then 5, what was 5 again?
Halloween 1978, the first Halloween.
Yeah, that's right. I haven't seen that. I'm not a scary movie guy. So I haven't seen that one.
It's not overly scary. It's just more creepy if you watch it. It's more it's more realistic because he like escapes the mental hospital, so he could just be any guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's not like demons and people
Right,
coming out of the
right,
ground.
right. And I think
All
they
right.
made that movie for like $150,000 and made like millions off it because it was made as a small, like little B level horror movie, and
Right.
for some reason it just caught fire at the box office, and they made millions off that movie.
I feel like for how since it's so like realistic, you don't. I feel like for budgeting wise, it's not like you got a bunch of like
Right.
explosions and need a bunch of
Nope.
CGI. Like it's just just gotta film, direct, shots.
Yeah.
I feel like that might have been
That's
why.
basically it, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it's wild. I don't know if you've ever seen like on Netflix, like how movies were made or the movie. I forgot what it's something like that. But it's like different movies. They talk about how they were made, and they did like a horror movie one, and then they talked about Halloween 1978. And it's just wild how cheaply they did everything. Like they didn't use blood at all. Like they didn't even use fake blood. They
Oh,
don't.
wow.
And they filmed it during the summer, like July, in a little California. So they had to like find like 2 or 3 random pumpkin farms so they could get a bunch of pumpkins to set the mood of like it's Halloween.
Yeah,
And
like
then
it's all.
right, and they had to hand paint like tree like leaves. They had to hand paint them like orange
Oh,
and red
orange.
and yellow. Yeah,
Dang.
because it was during the summer. And so they had like 200 leaves that you'll see if you ever watch it, you'll see at the beginning of the movie, they'll just start flying past the camera. That was just a bunch of random leaves they painted.
Dang. Talk
Yeah.
about making the details.
Mm-hmm. It's wild.
All right, so next week, am I going?
Yeah, I'd say so since, someone didn't join the pod
So,
today.
and then for mine, I pick any topic I want, but just make a list of my top 5, or I'm doing movies as
Yes.
well.
You can do whatever you want, Finis. You could do movies if you want. You could do whatever you want. Top 5, whatever you want. It doesn't have to be the same thing every week. Because like I said, eventually
Yeah,
we're
eventually
all
I
going
might
to
get
do
to the
this.
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. We're all going to do the same thing anyway. Like if you do restaurants or fast food restaurants, eventually I'm going to get there too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, I'm trying to think. Ooh, I'm trying to think what I want to do. I think I got an idea. Actually, I'm gonna write down every list that I can think of off the top of my head, and then that way I just got a bunch of different topics. I'm gonna write down probably after the cast because I already got like 3 or 4. Because I for sure top 5 all time basketball players, football,
Right, right.
sit down restaurants, fast food restaurants, top 5 candies. Oh yeah, list goes on.
Yeah. See?
Goes on. Yeah.
Yeah. We're going all over the map with this, people. It's not going to be this, same thing every week.
And then when is this is random transition, but it just came to my mind. When is the NFL draft is coming up quick, isn't it?
It's the end of the month. 28th through the 30th, I believe.
Oh, the 28th. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
what 11 days.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of drafts, bro, I watched the WNBA draft. Just the first. I don't know if it's all one day or what, but I watched the first 2 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
I found my favorite WNBA player. Okay,
Oh, let me hear it.
hang on. She was the 7th pick. Her first. I know her first name's Veronica. I'm trying to remember her last name. Because she not only. So I looked up her highlights, but when I was watching the draft. They called her name. She walked up. I was like, oh my God, she's fantastic. She looks fantastic. I was like, oh my God. And so then I looked up, I was like, this is my new favorite WNBA player. Because I'm trying to keep up WNBA. All right, where's the picture? Okay. Okay, here we go. No. Oh my God. I can't find the pics. But Jesus. Um yeah.
You said she went 7th overall?
Veronica Burton.
Yeah, for
Found it.
Northwestern.
Yeah, from Northwestern. I'm gonna get a jersey, bro.
You're
I'm gonna get me a jersey.
about to be the biggest investor in the Women's National Basketball Association, aren't you?
I'm all in. I am officially all in for sure. But who has the first pick in the NBA draft or NFL draft?
I believe it's Jacksonville. No, it's not Jacksonville. Is it? It is Jacksonville.
Uh,
It's
who are they
definitely
taking?
Jacksonville.
Who are they taking, man?
I don't. This is going to be a weird draft. I could see all the. Yeah, it is Jacksonville because according to NFL.com, they need a linebacker. Their top needs are linebacker, O-line, receiver. Well, they're not going to take. You would have to be, the best like offensive lineman to come out in 10 years to go number one overall.
Oh yeah.
You're not taking a linebacker at one overall.
No.
I mean, is there really a receiver at the top of the draft to take like that at one? I don't think so. I can see them trading out. I can see the Lions trading out. I can even see the Texans trading out, which could get real funky if like a team like the Steelers or a team like Carolina that need a quarterback, those draft years where like quarterbacks are not elite, but like 3 or 4 teams need a quarterback, so they start trading like crazy to draft these guys super high. I think it could be one of those years, man.
Yeah, because I know the number one prospect's a D lineman, right? From
Kayvon
Michigan?
Thibodeau. Oh no, you're thinking Aiden Hutchinson. Yeah.
Well, I know there's
it's
two. One from Michigan,
and then the guy from Oregon. That's Thibodeau.
Oh, there's the ad playing. Yeah, Oregon. That's right. So, but again, that's like you said. This is actually a conversation I have with my brother on his podcast. Shout out to VG Nation, Verse Nation. If you're in a position like Jacksonville, or let's just say you're a team that has a number one pick, and it's one of those drafts, like you said, it's you need an offensive lineman, linebacker, receiver. It's not really an offensive tackle that you would take first because you can get a big guy second.
Right.
It doesn't make sense to get a line. I don't think a linebacker has ever gone first pick. So it's one of those positions where to get more bang for your buck, you just draft later. And then receiver, I mean, do you waste your first round pick on a receiver? So it's like, do you just take the first available player, the best available player? So do you just take the defensive lineman or defensive tackle just because you can get them, or do you still go with the receiver?
Right. Because like this mock draft I'm looking at right now has the Jags still staying at 1 and them taking Hutchinson, the guy from Michigan, and then the Lions following up taking Thibodeau. So those would be the 2 top best edge rushers, obviously, and then the other edge rusher from Michigan who blew out his Achilles, he would have been probably 3 or 4 because they got the Texans taking Sauce Gardner.
Which draft are you looking at?
It's on NFL.com. This guy is Adam Rank.
NFL.com mock draft
is his most recent mock draft he released. I guess he released it today.
This is a different person, but
yeah, see, like he's got Carolina staying at 6 and drafting Malik Willis, the quarterback from Liberty.
Jacksonville?
No, Carolina.
Oh, Carolina.
He's saying the first quarterback to go will be Malik Willis, and he'll go to Carolina.
Ugh.
Yeah,
this is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I think so too. Because I honestly, if I'm Carolina, I think you can get Malik Willis at like 15 or like 20, or I feel you could, if you really wanted him, you could get him later on in the first round. Like you can move back because there's not many teams that need a quarterback.
See, no, there's really not.
You can move back from 6, probably pick up a first rounder or at least a second round pick for next year on top of moving back this year, and probably another third round pick in this year's draft. But But at the same time, there might not be a lot of movement. Man, there's going to be a lot of D linemen, which this is a deep, deep D line draft. So
Yeah, it is. I feel like no matter what the NFL is looking like, there's always defensive linemen being
dude,
taken. Even when there's you have a strong receiving draft, or even a strong quarterback draft, there's still defensive linemen being taken first every round.
bro, because it's the way the league is now. Everybody
Yeah.
besides the Titans, everybody wings the ball over the field for the most part. I mean, Panthers don't when McCaffrey's healthy, but I mean, Titans, the 49ers, the Panthers, is really a handful that just run the ball. But the rest of them, they just wing it all over the field. I mean, it's just the way the league's gone. So you got to have elite pass rush talent to compete.
And even in depth, because if you're
you got
rushing every snap, you got to have depth.
Mm-hmm. You got to have two. If most NFL teams run a 3-4, obviously. So all three of those guys and the overhang outside linebackers that are used to be DNs in college, they have to be able to get to the quarterback. All five. They have to all be able to get to the quarterback.
Yeah, tough, man.
Because you got to have.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I hate to bring it back to the Titans, but Titans are a great example of this because they had a great D line this year. They had the rush up the middle with, whenever they put Naquan Jones or Tier Tart, they pressed the pocket up the middle, which would allow, and the same thing with Jeffrey Simmons, Danico Autry. They were really good at it, and that made room for Harold Landry and Bud Dupree to come off the edge. You got to have that. You just got to have it. You got to have all five guys win one-on-ones in that league. You just got to.
Have to. Every division, every conference, it don't matter.
Yep, right.
And then
because if you don't, you're in trouble. And sometimes even with them winning, you're still in trouble.
Oh yeah, because
they get the ball.
Like you said, the Titans with Joe Burrow. Sacked 9 times. You talking about defensive line was having a field day. Still lost the game.
Yeah.
All those pressures and still lost.
Because there's other times he got the ball out so quick. Because a lot of them get the ball out so damn quick now.
Yeah.
You can't even get to them. You can't even touch them.
I'm excited. So you said the first day is the 28th?
Yes, that's round one. That's a Thursday.
I'll be at work all day.
Well, I mean, on the bright side, it'll probably go till 11 o'clock that night or 10:30 like it usually does. Because round one takes up the whole first day.
Yeah, it does.
And then 2 and 3 are on Friday, and then 4, 5, 6, 7 to go on Saturday. I think they run 3 on. Yeah, they run 3 on Friday too.
Second and third.
Yeah, second and third are usually on Friday.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then the rest of it. So. Yeah, and then we'll obviously that Sunday. We'll obviously do a recap of who won the draft or draft grades at least.
Right.
And then we'll have to talk shit to Mitch about the Titans because we just have to. Just have to. We just have to. Because then they got this corner from that corner from Cincinnati, they got him going 4th.
And this mock, he's third. The one I'm looking at, yeah.
To Houston?
Yes.
Dude.
He's a baller.
Hasn't given up a single touchdown
in
college, in his college. It's unheard of.
That's ridiculous.
If before this happened, if you had told me there's going to be a guy to play corner, not safety, but corner, he played 4 years, right? It's not like he played 1 year and he just
he played 3. He's a junior. He's coming out as a junior.
So you tell me a guy that plays 3 years and starts, actually plays,
and
didn't get a single touchdown scored on him,
and he played against Alabama in the playoffs. Come on, man.
Dude's a beast. So I'm excited to watch the NFL in general next year, especially with all these trades and stuff.
Dude, I think it could get real wacky. I think there's going to be a lot of trades. Because, I mean, like, I'm reading some of these names on this mock. I just don't think that I get it. Like, you got a mock, whatever. But it's just like, I don't see the value in that certain player at that spot in the draft.
That high.
Right. Because if you need that, if that's what you're going for, like the Giants drafting an offensive tackle from NC State. Never heard of this guy in my life. But I feel like he would be, if they wanted to move back, he'd be there.
Yeah.
Or like Kyle Hamilton to the Jets on this mock. He'll be there. They want to move back. It's just I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's tough. We'll see though. Because it could be, we know from I watch the draft there. I watch the draft every year. All it takes is one team to make a move and a pick that nobody was expecting, and the entire dynamic.
Yeah.
The entire dynamic of the draft completely changes.
You're
you got
right.
people trying to move up, move down, people scrambling. Oh, snap, we can still get this dude, or bro.
Right.
Then the draft's better than television, like real, like TV.
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh, I hope that's what happened. Like somebody like what was it? Was it Daniel Jones that got taken like second?
He got drafted 6.
No, was that so? That was Daniel Jones that got drafted 6 instead of
Dwayne Haskins that year. Because I think that was Kyler Murray's year. Because Kyler Murray was the top quarterback, right? I think that was the same year, right?
I don't know. What?
Because there was a quarterback taken before Daniel Jones and Haskins, or maybe Daniel Jones was the first quarterback taken.
No, he was second. He went it was pick 6. Well, there was a quarterback. I don't know which draft years, but I remember somebody got picked early. Oh man, I can't remember, but I just remember it just
Daniel Jones draft year.
Because he got picked before. There was another quarterback that was behind him.
That was 2019.
Right.
That might have been Kyler. Went and won. Or was that Baker who won that year?
No, not Baker. No, Kyler Murray went first. Nick Bosa went second.
That's what it was.
This website will load.
Yeah.
And then Daniel Jones, Josh Allen.
Oh no, that's insane.
That's what it was. Because they have like the rankings of the quarterbacks. Yeah. Daniel Jones was at the bottom of all the quarterbacks that were going to be like first round.
Because I freaked the hell out because I was like, bro, Dwayne Haskins was on the board. What are we doing here?
Yeah. Dwayne Haskins.
I guess hindsight's 2020 on that. Rest in peace. Don't mean any disrespect. But
but the Josh Allen one, huge because he's
look at the Giants, bro. Look at them now. That's all it takes is that one mistake. I mean, they could have had Josh Allen.
And then and I'm looking at all these after that, all these teams started trading. Because the 10th pick was traded, the 17th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th was all like
because they thought a guy like Daniel Jones was going to fall there.
Yeah.
They weren't even thinking about it, like, oh, that's going to be the move. Because I think the Giants, the whole time were being linked to like Josh Allen.
Yeah, because I forget what the link was, but somebody, I don't know if it was the offensive coordinator or somebody at that facility coached him early in his college career. Something like
I think
that.
so.
Yeah, it was something like that. Or used to be like offensive coordinator at Duke or something like that. But I mean, it makes sense. I mean, if you used to coach a guy, and then you're in that organization now and got running the same offense, or it makes sense to have a guy that you got that rapport or chemistry with. So I mean, I wasn't too mad at it, but you know.
Danny Dimes.
But getting back to NBA, kind of scatterbrained all over the place. But what? How do you think the playoffs going to shake out, man? I don't know.
I think the East is a crapshoot. I think
Yeah.
anybody could come out of the East. I really think the West is the Suns to lose, man. I really do. I just think I think the Suns come out of the West. I think it's theirs to lose.
So yeah, because
well, I shouldn't say. I should say the Warriors too. I think it's one of those two. It's either one of those two. I just think that I know that's chalk, but I mean, it's just like after what I watched with the Grizzlies the other day, even though I said it months ago, I just didn't trust them in a 7-game series against the Suns or the Warriors, and they might not even make it out of the first round. So
they might not. Yeah, man. I keep trying to think because, like you said, it's the East that I don't know. We all know
that literally anybody can win that.
we all know West. It's Warriors or Suns. Like we got that. East, man. I can see Milwaukee. I can see Miami.
You still see Brooklyn,
Brooklyn.
Celtics.
I can even see 76ers. And
yeah,
Chicago. You talk about you got DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and they play fantastic. They play good defense. I can see any of those teams. So I don't know, but yeah, I don't know because the game talking about now. See, Bulls and Milwaukee. It's a 1-point game.
I'm telling you, man.
It's 70, 76, 77 with 6 minutes left in the fourth. So, man, you talking about anything.
Yeah, East is a crapshoot, man. It really is. I mean, anybody in the East can win that conference and go play in the finals. It's
I like it like that, though. I like it when there's no clear cut. Yeah. Could you imagine if the East and West were like that, where it's like we don't know?
That's what you want, man. You want that parity. You want that excitement. You want to. That's how it used to be, anyway. I mean, like when we were growing up as kids, like you knew Kobe and Shaq. You know, come on, but at the same time, you didn't because Portland was really good. The Spurs were really good.
Celtics were good.
Celtics were good. The at that time frame, the Sacramento Kings were good. They had Stojakovic and Vlade Divac. They were good. It was so wide open back in the day. And then I guess, the emergence of super teams, that's when it started going down. But I think what it has shown is maybe the super teams are not it's not the thing anymore. There's always ebbs and flows every 10 years in all the leagues, right? I mean, that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, because if you think about it now, well, I don't know, NFL is not getting there yet, but 5, 6 years, it's all about receivers, passing, down the field throws. Now with guys like Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey,
right, running the ball is
Leonard Fournette is starting to become more. Let's get running ball where the way it was the previous 2 generations when it was
we were younger, because the defenses to adjust to the aerial attack, they got smaller, and got faster.
Yeah. Now you got.
That's why Derrick Henry's feast. That's why you see a lot. I mean, that's why Marshawn Lynch. I mean, think about it. He was during that era when defenses started getting smaller and faster, but he would feast.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Saquon Barkley. Like you can look at a lot of these teams with monsters at running back position.
Right.
Nick Chubb. Keep going.
I'm telling you. I mean, I think Cam Akers is a monster up there with the Rams too. I mean, it's starting to shift back that way now. Obviously,
Alvin Kamara,
right?
Even
now,
though
obviously,
it's a little different, but because they he play at all.
They all get it done in different ways, right?
Yeah,
like
true.
Derrick Henry's a throwback, right? Nick Chubb's a throwback. They're just gonna they're gonna pound it right up in between the tackles. They're gonna run you over, and they can take it 80 yards at any time. They're home run hitters. Saquon, McCaffrey, Kamara are the more modernized running back where they can catch the ball in the backfield. They can hit. They can block. They can do it all.
Yeah, you can put them in the slot if you need to.
Right. They're not as great running inside the tackles as a Chubb or a Henry, but they can do it. They're the modernized running back. It's starting to shift back that way, but at the same time, like you got to have a franchise elite quarterback to win a Super Bowl. I'm convinced.
Oh, for sure.
Like I don't think that'll ever change. I mean, that's been like that even when we were. I mean, our whole lives. I mean,
forever.
Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. I mean, Drew Brees. I mean, look at all those guys. I mean, they won the Super Bowls when we were kids.
And then Ben Roethlisberger has a couple, right?
Right, another one, Big Ben. Yeah. See, now there were
Elite.
some outliers every now and then, like Joe Flacco got one, and
you're talking about my personal opinion, one of the greatest defensive teams.
well, ever. Yeah.
Ever. So I mean, if you're not gonna be like that, if you're gonna have no offense to Joe Flacco, I like Joe Flacco, but he not no Tom Brady.
Right.
You gotta have a defense with Ray Lewis at the center of that.
That's why the Ravens won it in 2000.
Yeah, was Ed Reed in the secondary? I mean, Ed Reed and
Terrell Suggs, Ray Lewis. Yeah, bro, they were stupid loaded. And that's why they won it in 2000 as well. Like the Titans were the best team that whole year, and then Ray Lewis intercepted McNair throwing the ball to George, and then they went on to beat the Giants. But the quarterback they had was Trent Dilfer, bro. That guy wasn't elite. Exactly. He got a Super Bowl ring, man.
Man, yeah, times have changed, man.
Mm-hmm.
Times have changed, but is that all, Mark?
I don't got anything else.
I think that's it. I'll be forgetting to put stuff on this Google Doc I'll be sending out because, half stuff we talk about don't even be on the Google Doc. It usually be off the top. But I'll be trying to do it just so I don't forget.
But sometimes that's the best way to do it, man, because you just create conversation.
Yeah.
You're versatile. You can talk about anything.
Yeah, for sure. Because all I really want to talk about, because right now everybody knows the NBA playoffs, so it's that and just the offseason stuff in the NFL. And just,
right,
all the other good stuff. But if that's it, y'all heard it here. Hopefully next time we have Mitch on here so we can have more shit talking going on. But we appreciate you guys for listening. Again, we appreciate the followers. We're up to like 1,200 followers on Twitter. Follow our Twitter at IV Talks Podcast, and shout us out if you want to hear stuff. Send us in recommendations. We'll debate anything. If you want to hop on, hit us up. We'll have you on as a guest. Y'all heard it here. Garden 615. We are out.